Think your garden is done for the year just because the leaves are falling? Well, think again. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unlocking an absolutely incredible, yet often overlooked gardening opportunity. You know, when most people think of autumn, they imagine putting their garden to bed, clearing out those last few struggling tomatoes, and packing away their tools. But what if I told you that as the temperatures drop, one of the most rewarding growing seasons is literally just beginning? We're talking about mastering the art of the autumn lettuce harvest.
I mean, it sounds totally crazy, right? Did you know a delicate lettuce plant can survive temperatures down to -5 degrees Celsius? It's so easy to look at a crisp, fragile-looking lettuce leaf and just assume it needs perfect, mild spring weather to thrive. But structurally, young lettuce plants are rugged winter warriors. The agronomic data shows that in its youth, a lettuce plant can comfortably endure freezing temps. Our goal today is to show you exactly how to harness that incredible cold resistance.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Why grow autumn lettuce? 2. Choosing varieties. 3. Soil preparation and planting. 4. Winter care and protection. 5. Proper harvesting. And finally 6. Success and final thoughts. Let's jump into section 1. Why grow autumn lettuce? It's time to embrace the cool season.
So why bother, right? Well, embracing the cool season fundamentally changes how you utilize your garden space. It allows you to extend your fresh produce supply right through the months when most other crops completely fail. It's a massive strategic advantage. Autumn lettuce has a surprisingly short vegetative period, so you get a really fast return on your effort. Because these young plants handle the cold so exceptionally well, they actually thrive in the chill that would wipe out a summer crop. Plus, planting now means you entirely avoid that intense summer heat stress. You know, the kind that causes your lettuce to bolt, turn horribly bitter, or just fail to germinate altogether. By planting in the fall, you're setting yourself up for a guaranteed fresh harvest in early spring. Moving right along to section 2, choosing suitable varieties. Let's pick your winter warriors.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it helps you choose your toolkit without getting bogged down in the numbers. For instance, the Cherna Gumerginska is a dark green, crispy powerhouse that yields really heavy heads. But hey, if you prefer something a bit sweeter, the Mayking Bio, or maybe the tender Zimna Maslina Glava, which translates to winter butterhead, are fantastic, fast-maturing choices. And for pure, undeniable vigor, the Basio F1 hybrid boasts extremely high cold resistance. The takeaway here? Just match the variety to the texture and flavor you actually want on your plate.
Section 3. Soil preparation and planting. Let's prep the battleground.
Okay, so even the toughest winter warriors need the right foundation. Lettuce loves structural, humus-rich soil with a neutral to slightly alkaline pH, right around 7.0 to 7.5. Actually, scratch that. It basically demands it. But here is the critical part. Lettuce is super nitrogen hungry and pulls heavily from the surface soil. To avoid soil fatigue, you really must practice a 3 to 4 year crop rotation. The absolute best predecessors? Legumes, like beans or peas, because they naturally enrich the soil with biological nitrogen. When you're building your beds, go high, about 1 meter or 1.2 meters wide, and cover them with a 2-color, non-perforated mulch film. We're talking black on the bottom, silver on top.
Now for the timeline. You want to sow your seeds outdoors in early to mid-September. After growing those seedlings for about 30 to 40 days, you transplant them into your prepared beds by mid-October. Why mid-October? Well, your seedlings desperately need 15 to 20 days to firmly establish their root systems before the severe winter frosts arrive. When you're cutting holes in your mulch film, space the plants at 25 by 25 centimeters or 30 by 30 if you're growing those larger heading varieties.
And check this out. Here is a fantastic payoff for all that setup. By utilizing that modern 2-color mulch film combined with a proper drip irrigation system, you can actually reduce your water usage by up to 20%. It severely cuts down on surface evaporation, suppresses those annoying weeds, and keeps the soil temperature perfectly stable. All right, section 4, winter care and protection, guarding your crop. So once your plants are in the ground, guarding them requires a bit of strategy, especially when dealing with crazy temperature swings. You basically have 2 main choices for winter tunnels. Polyethylene plastic film gives you higher heat retention, but there's a huge catch. If the sun comes out and the inside temp hits 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, you have to manually open those tunnels. If you don't, you will literally cook your plants. They'll burn through their stored sugars and be completely defenseless against the freeze that night.
On the flip side, agrel, a non-woven textile, is breathable. You can water right through it, and it prevents the plants from suffocating. For most moderate winter climates, agrel is definitely the way to go.
Which brings us to a massively important warning. Do not, I repeat, do not over-fertilize with nitrogen in the autumn. It's a classic beginner mistake. Sure, nitrogen is great in the spring, but in the fall, it causes the plant to rapidly push out tender, highly watered leaves. When the frost hits, those water-filled cells will just freeze, expand, and completely destroy the plant's natural cold resistance. Stick to phosphorus and potassium. That's going to strengthen the root systems and cellular walls instead.
So, the other major winter threat? Fungal diseases. Cold temps mixed with high humidity under protective covers create an absolute paradise for things like gray mold, rhizoctonia, and mildew. But don't stress, the fix is super simple. Just avoid getting the leaves wet. Only water in the early morning so the plants can dry out during the day. This is exactly why that drip irrigation we talked about earlier is so highly recommended. It puts moisture directly at the roots without splashing the leaves. Combine that with strict ventilation under your covers, and you completely strip away the environment these nasty diseases need to survive.
Section 5. Proper harvesting of the crop. The best part? The reward.
After carefully guarding your crop through all those cold months, it's finally time to bring that crisp, fresh food to your table. And this quote brilliantly illustrates the secret to a perfect harvest. Tissue turgor. That's really just a fancy agronomic term for how much water pressure is inside the plant's cells. When you harvest in the early morning hours, that pressure is at its absolute peak. That guarantees you get the juiciest, crispiest lettuce possible, way before the sun has a chance to dehydrate the leaves.
Most autumn varieties will be ready for you about 6 to 8 weeks after transplanting. When they are, make sure you use a sharp, disinfected knife to make a nice, smooth cut. A clean cut heals rapidly and prevents secondary infections from rotting the stem. And here's a pro tip. If you're growing loose-leaf varieties, pick the outer, well-developed leaves first. This technique allows the center of the plant to just keep on growing, giving you multiple consecutive harvests. Clear off any damaged lower leaves, and your fresh produce will easily stay crisp in the fridge for up to 10 days.
Section 6. Success in your garden. Let's wrap this up with some final thoughts. We've covered the science, the timing, and the techniques. Growing lettuce in the autumn isn't just about extending the season. It's about working smarter alongside nature to produce incredibly high-quality food when most people have just given up for the year. But before you run out to prep your beds, a quick disclaimer. Please verify local planting rules and check the specific climate suitability for your region. Weather patterns definitely differ, so individual results may vary. Make sure you adjust your sowing timeline based on when your local first deep frost typically hits.
So the biggest takeaway today is that your garden definitely doesn't have to stop just because summer is over. With the right preparation, those delicate-looking leaves are absolutely tough enough to handle the frost. So I have to ask, which cold-resistant variety will you challenge the winter frost with this year? Thank you so much for joining this explainer. Start planning that cool season harvest today, and I'll catch you in the next one.